Have you ever wondered how your favorite apps just work? Like, so seamlessly. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the world of software testing. We'll explore the whole journey, all the way from a simple human click to the really sophisticated automated code that keeps everything from crashing.
I mean, really, this is the big question behind every single app on your phone, right? When you tap Buy Now or you send that important message, you just expect it to work every single time. So how do we actually guarantee that reliability? Well, the answer is all in the super meticulous world of software testing.
Okay, so where do we even begin this journey? We start right at the foundation, the bedrock of quality assurance, manual testing. And this is the place where that human touch, well, it's just absolutely critical. So what is manual testing exactly? Think of it like this. It's the art of a real person literally stepping into the shoes of a user. You're clicking, you're typing, you're navigating around, and you have one single goal: find the bugs before the actual customer does. It's all about using that uniquely human creativity and intuition to try and break the software in ways a machine would just never think of. But listen, this isn't just random clicking around. Not at all. It's actually a really structured process. It takes a specific set of skills and a super clear methodology. So let's actually break down what a manual tester really does day to day. Okay, so here's the entire workflow, and this cycle is so important. First up, you've got to understand the requirements. I mean, you can't test something if you don't know what it's supposed to do, right? From there, testers create these broad scenarios, and then they drill down into really detailed, step-by-step test cases. Think of these like recipes for finding bugs. Then, of course, they execute the tests. And finally, and this is a big one, they manage the defects. That means tracking every single bug from the moment it's found until it's squashed, making sure nothing slips through the cracks. Now, to manage this whole process, testers need a specific toolkit. Sure, you could use a simple spreadsheet, but most teams rely on really powerful tools called test case management tools, or TCMs for short. You might have heard of some of these, like Jira or Rally. These platforms are basically the central nervous system for the entire quality assurance team. They track every test, every result, every single bug. But here's the thing. Manual testing has its limits. It can be kind of slow and honestly pretty repetitive. And as software development just keeps getting faster and more complex, we need a way to keep up. There's just no other way. And that brings us to the next big evolutionary step on our journey, automation. And this comparison here, it just nails the core difference. On one hand, you have manual testing, which is all about human intuition. It's perfect for exploring new features and just poking around. But on the other hand, you have automation that's powered by code. It's built for one thing: speed and repeatability. It can do the same thing perfectly, thousands of times in a row. So what's the big takeaway here? Automation is all about writing code that does the testing for you. And this is huge because it frees up the human testers to focus on the really complex, creative problems. While one person might run a handful of tests, an automation script can run thousands. It's perfect for checking for regressions, making sure that a new piece of code hasn't accidentally broken an old feature that used to work just fine.
All right, so when you start talking about automating tests for websites, there's one name that just stands above all the rest: Selenium. And it's so important to get this right. Selenium isn't just one single tool. It's really an entire toolkit, and it's basically become the industry standard for automation engineers everywhere.
And this right here is a really important point to clear up. It's probably the biggest misconception out there. People think you write code in Selenium. But nope, that's not how it works at all. So if it's not a programming language, then what on earth is it? Well, the answer is that Selenium needs a programming language to do anything. Think of it this way. Selenium provides the commands, but you're the one who has to write those commands using a real language, like Java, Python, or JavaScript, to actually tell the browser what to do. Let's use an analogy. Imagine Selenium is a box of Legos. It gives you all these different pieces, or what we call methods in programming. You've got a piece for clicking a button, another piece for typing text into a search bar, maybe another one for picking a date from a calendar. Your job, using a language like Python, is to snap those pieces together to build a script that actually performs a full test. But okay, just having a box of Legos isn't enough, right? If you want to build something really big and sturdy, you need a blueprint, some kind of structure. And in the world of test automation, that structure has a name. It's called a framework. A perfect example of this is something called TestNG, which stands for Test Next Generation. Just imagine you have hundreds, maybe even thousands, of these little test scripts. How on earth do you run them all in the right order? How do you get one single clean report that tells you what passed and what failed? It would be a total mess. Well, that's the mess that TestNG cleans up. It's like the project manager for all your tests, orchestrating these complex test suites with total precision. And then you've got other frameworks like Cucumber, which do something really cool. They use an approach called behavior-driven development, or BDD. And what that means is you can write your tests in plain, simple English using a given, when, then format. So it's literally like, given I'm on the login page, when I type in my correct username and password, then I should see my dashboard. And this is a game changer because it means people who aren't coders, like project managers or business analysts, can actually read, understand, and even help write the tests. It completely bridges that gap between the business side and the tech side. So there you have it. We've gone all the way from a single human click to a complete automated framework. And what we've seen is that modern software quality, it's not about choosing between manual and automation. It's about mastering the art of using both together. As our tech gets more and more complex, the one thing that never changes is the need for testers who can think like a user and think like a machine. So the real question to leave you with is, which part of that journey are you going to explore next?